Hey, Scott from Aristocob.com here.
And Seth from MyWienerYourMouth.com.
And together the three of us, we are Markwood Men's Breakfast Club. Welcome back once again, and welcome to Tobacco Advent Day 10.
Woohoo!
Made it to Day 10, boy.
Yes. Only 15
Only
more.
15
16
more.
because we haven't filmed today's yet.
All right, so what are we going to smoke on Day 10?
So today, Dan from Deep South Texas has sent us...
How deep south is Deep South Texas?
Well, it is more south than mid-Texas and North Texas, of course. And it's just a little bit... it's Mexico.
Okay.
Sent to us from Dan from Mexico. Thank you. He said that he said about this. This is Clark's Mix. And he said he knows that we're a fan of 1Q, Lane 1Q, and he said this is a mix from his.
So he's watched one episode.
Oh, and knows. Yeah,
He knows.
That's all it takes around here. He said that Clark's Mix is a blend from his local tobacconist that they can no longer sell because of the FDA, and because they can no longer sell it because of the FDA. They were willing to give him the blend. And so this has been blended by Dan from Mexico.
Wow. So Dan using the recipe mimicking his tobacconist. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
That was cool of them to share the mix with you.
We've talked a lot about the FDA deeming regs, and feel free to search Markwood Men's Breakfast Club FDA for some of that information if this is news to you. But your local tobacconist can't even purchase Lane bulk blends, the normal way that tobacconists have been making their own blends for years. They can't take Lane 1Q and Lane BCA and mix those two together
to make a house blend.
To make a house blend, because that makes them a manufacturer. Right. And they would then have to go through all this ridiculous rigmarole. Rigmarole.
Including licensing, paying for testing. It's $100,000+ process per tobacco mix, which means it's not going to happen.
Not going to happen. All right. All right. So, question of the day. Thank you, Dan. Question of the day. Paper cut of the day.
What is your most embarrassing experience where you forgot an important piece of information? And this happens to me all the time. Those experiences have stopped being embarrassing for the most part.
Kinda, yeah. I got to think first about what's an embarrassing moment I've experienced.
I can tell you one. I was in the middle of the first wedding ceremony I performed for my friends Chris and Christy, and thankfully this was not the second wedding I performed, which was in a big meeting hall and was traditional. This was in a backyard where the barbecue, where the smoker was working to cook lunch. Thankfully it was low key, and so it wasn't too embarrassing. But I thought I would be a technology smarty pants and decided to use my iPad for reading the ceremony. And halfway through, I accidentally hit the home button, and I didn't remember what app I was using to keep my notes in. And this was before the day of the double click to open up recent apps. So I had to kind of stall as I swiped through and tried to find the right app, tried to open the right app. So, you know, the information was I lost my app. I had to, from that day forward, when I decided to use my technology, I would always put the app in the home bar and take everything else out, and always have a moleskin with a printed backup in my pocket, just in case. I did not have either of those things. So I was rambling, stumbling, trying to find it, trying not to be too obvious. You?
Still trying to remember a specific one. I do remember walking into, I'm a corporate trainer. My office until recently was right next to a big training room, the training center, learning center as we call it. I remember walking past the learning center one day with my computer bag on my shoulder and coming in late at the speed of Markwood, as I like to call it, and kind of glancing over and seeing that there's a meeting going on, and that's not uncommon that there would be a meeting going on. But the moment I look and notice the people that are sitting in the room, oh, that's a meeting I'm supposed to be in. That's a meeting I am now an hour late to and totally oblivious to the fact that I am running an hour late to. You know, it's one thing if you're speeding there and you're, you know, trying to come up with a great excuse. I was like completely caught off guard. That was embarrassing. But
did you just go straight in?
I dropped off my bags and went and got a cup of coffee and made a phone call. And
yeah.
Went to the restroom. And
yeah. Made sure you knew that you saw
came in
you
right
acknowledged
around,
them.
Came in around noon.
Yeah, that sounds right. You know, I've had that. You know, thinking about it a little bit more, I think probably the most embarrassing thing. We've talked before about Dunbars Number. Dunbar's number is the theoretical limit of the number of meaningful relationships we can have with people. And the number is 150. And the idea is you're limited physiologically, psychologically, to about 150 relationships in your life with people that you would be willing to sit down, people that it wouldn't be awkward if you had dinner at their house. Okay. Right? And with social media and other things, we now have far exceeded that number of connections. But yeah. You can't have deep, meaningful relationships with more people like that. I have pushed my emotional part of my brain to the limit with that because I have gone through many years of camp experience, many years of teaching where I'm building 100 new relationships every summer, every year. And I went to a reunion for camp one year. It was soon after my wife and I got married. I'd gone to this camp for 6 summers. Made a lot of really great friends. I went back. I couldn't remember many of the people that I knew I worked with very closely for 10 weeks. For full summers. They one of the guys, I'm sorry, David, was my co-counselor. We were in the same cabin together. I can't remember a thing that we did. I can't remember a single conversation. I don't remember a single thing about him. But I followed him on Facebook and stalked him enough for it not to be totally awkward when we met. But, you know, he's remembering all these things. I'm like, yeah, that sounds like it was awesome. And that happens. Yeah, that happens. Yeah. That happens to me a lot living in the same town where I've worked in a school. Run into students who, they remember you. I don't remember them.
I had a situation recently on one of my trips this year where I traveled to California, and I had some folks from North Carolina that went out to California with me for training and spent 5 days with me. 6 days actually, because I picked them up at the airport on Sunday, and then we spent the entire week together. And when I say that, we start at breakfast in the morning at the hotel. They travel in the minivan that I've rented. They go into training with me for about 8 hours, and then we go spend the evening doing something together for 5 straight days. So I'm back in the office the very next week, and someone approaches me at the coffee machine, and it's striking up a conversation, and yeah, how you doing? Oh, doing great. And,
it's nice to meet you.
Yeah, no, it wasn't nice to meet you, but it was, so you reacclimated to East Coast time? Yeah, I am, Well, you know, I want to tell you what a great time I had.
Great.
I'm looking at this person. I know that I've seen him around the office. I literally 3 days earlier had spent an entire week with them, and it's just it's sort of like a variation on the short-term memory where part of it also, if I had been in California and they'd walked into the room, it's a situational relationship. But because we were, maybe both dressed a little bit more formally and in a different environment, I couldn't place them.
Yeah.
That was embarrassing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Played it off pretty well, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice to meet you.
Yeah. That stinks. That stinks. Anytime you do greeting for a church or something that has like a regular meeting, you don't ever want to ask, is it your first time here? Because inevitably they'll say, oh no, we met and spoke last week. Oh,
yeah, and
so great to have you back.
I've been a member for a month, for a year now.
Yeah, no, this is my home church. I grew up here. Oh, that's so great. Nice to see you today. Hope you're well. God bless.
Gotta get these eyes checked, though.
Oh, you do something different with your hair? All right, what'd you think of the tobacco?
That's good.
Yeah,
that's good. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I've rarely enjoyed Mexican tobacco as much as I have this.
Yeah, well, yesterday was cinnamon and was cinnamon vanilla. This is churro. So.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Is it okay.
Yeah, Clark's mix. Little known fact is churro, cinnamon and dough. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, nothing.
Fried.
That's right.
Fried dough. All right, so answer the question, and if you've missed it, because I haven't pointed it out, we're actually running a little bit of a contest. If you leave a video response to our question of the day and either post it here or on Facebook or on Instagram, it could be a minute long at the most, answer the question and make sure that we see it, right? You will be entered in a contest to win some Markwood Men's Breakfast Club swag and one of these Cobbett, what is that one again? The Wizard pipes. I've mentioned this every single day in the video description, and only a couple people have caught on. So nice. There you go. Jump in on this. Look forward to seeing your response, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow. Make it a great day.
See ya.